All right, my pearls, let me introduce you to my new secret weapon. Harlow is a 3-in-1 performance drink packed with electrolytes, collagen, and creatine. All the essentials to keep me hydrated, glowing, and strong. Whether I'm rushing from Pilates to work or heading to the podcast studio, Harlow keeps me balanced and ready to tackle whatever the day brings my way. I am hooked, I never miss a day, and I know that you will feel the same. To stay hydrated with me and to support the show, visit www.drinkharlow.com and use the code OYSTA20 for 20% off at checkout. That's www.drinkharlow.com and use the code OYSTA20 for 20% off at checkout. Stay fabulous and stay hydrated with Harlow. This episode is brought to you by Stellar,
a global marketplace where you can buy and sell exclusive assets with just a few taps. I'm Ella, your new best friend, and I'm here to show you around. When you first open the app, you'll land on the Discovery feed. Up top, there's our search bar. Use it to hunt down your dream experiences. And if you need to narrow it down, our filter feature has got your back. While scrolling through the Discovery feed, if you see something you like, tap on a listing for more details. Need a hand? Just look for me, and I'll be right here to assist you. Thanks for joining us on Stellar. We can't wait to see what you discover.
World Your Oyster. What's up, everybody? You're listening to World Your Oyster, and I'm your host, Paula Sanders, here to empower the dreamers and the doers. Whether you're looking for inspiration, motivation, or just need a little hot, rich anti-pep talk, then you are in the right place, because every week I am sitting down with some of New York City's biggest, boldest, and brightest lights to remind you that the world is truly your oyster. So let's dive right in. Today we are here with a powerhouse in the world of fashion, Elizabeth Sulcer. Elizabeth has made waves with her ultra-feminine, decadent street style, legendary red carpet moments, and iconic editorial campaigns. She's a graduate of the prestigious Rhode Island School of Design, and her journey includes an apprenticeship with the one and only Alexander McQueen in London, where she contributed to some of his most groundbreaking collections. Her background in design has allowed her to collaborate on capsule collections with iconic brands, and beyond her work on the runway and red carpet, Elizabeth continues to influence the industry through her campaigns, fashion shows, and designs, all while sharing her unique vision with over 800,000 people on social media. She's also a mother, a wife, and somebody that I am honored to call a friend. I'm so excited to introduce you to the woman behind all of the glamour. Elizabeth, welcome to World Your Oyster. That's it. Elizabeth Sulcer, welcome to World Your Oyster.
I am so grateful and so happy to be here with you, Paula. Friend, colleague, inspiration. It's a great day.
It really is a great day. And I just want to take a step back, you guys, because truly we would not be here today if Elizabeth didn't sit me down at a lunch at a random sushi spot in Miami at Art Basel.
TED Talk.
And look me in the damn eyes and say, Paula, what do you want to do for you? Nobody had asked me that question, like maybe ever in my life. And you really opened the door for me to realize that I can be more than one thing. And I could be successful in my corporate career, but I can also explore the things that make me me, and to really look at myself like a brand. I never, ever did that until you told me to do it. So here we are, almost 2 years later.
Wow.
Look at how far we've come.
What? Honestly, I'm honored. If that is one thing that I can do in my life is inspire others, then I've done my job.
Yeah.
And honestly, I value you, and I love what I do so much, and I love helping other people, and just little points here and there, kind of inspiring people. I think that is a gift that I can give, and I'm honored to be there for you or anyone, anytime.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
Oh, this is emotional. It's a reunion.
It really is. And I wanted to wait to have you on because I wanted to make sure that my skill was where it needed to be. And I finally felt that the time is ready. And I'm so excited to kick off season 3 with this episode because you have such an incredible story and an incredible journey, and you're such an inspiration. But before we dive into your start, let's talk about the outfit that you're wearing today.
Wow.
Elizabeth, give us the head to toe breakdown.
Okay. I don't know if you guys know my style, but I love a powerful, elegant woman. So I like to play with a little bit of androgyny, and I love suits. So I thought we had to do a power moment.
Must.
Had to do a little bit of like the jewelry 80s. So I'm wearing a vintage Chanel that I got at this beautiful shop this summer in Saint-Tropez. And she has the most incredible jewelry and I'm into Tubogas now. So I'm mixing it up with some Bulgari and this beautiful designer, Alberto Milani. This is a new designer, actually. I normally wear a lot of Saint Laurent suiting, but this designer, I love to support new talent and new designers, and it's called Sans Faf. And they do these incredible structured shoulders and just nipped waists, and it has like a little short, which I thought was cute. Love a stocking. It just makes every outfit for me feel very done. So these are Wolford, and then the classic Saint Laurent. I love a strong shoe.
We need a strong shoe. I wore all Saint Laurent for you today. I was like, I absolutely must be in
Power
head
look.
to toe Saint Laurent for my interview with Elizabeth. So.
Well, you always look fabulous. And, you know, for me, it's innate style. And I kind of am that character. I am that woman. So it's very easy for me to dress because I'm already her.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not overthinking things.
No, I never it's innate.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel it. It's a feeling. It's an emotion. It's something I'm initially drawn to, and it feels like part of me.
Yeah.
It's like a character.
You're in love with fashion. We can tell that you're in love with fashion. So let's go back to the beginning. I would love to know
The beginning.
where this all starts, how because I know you're from New Jersey, right?
I grew up just outside of the city, small town, horse country. We also were going back and forth to the Carlisle and the city, but predominantly outside of the city. But, I had that kind of big city exposure,
Yep.
Little moments at the Carlisle or serendipity, and just being in the city when I was young, it really inspired me. The energy, the people, it was so glamorous. It was a life I wanted to live.
Yeah, I had the same experience growing up, coming in and that's all I ever wanted was to live here. And I was so inspired. And then to be able to finally do it is the next part.
Doing it is key, right?
Doing it is key. Doing it is key. When do you feel the love for fashion coming to you?
That is a complicated question. I think I always was inspired by Hollywood and movie stars, glamour growing up. My mom at dinner parties, all the women in their beautiful gowns and jewelry. And I had a fascination with all of that kind of dreamy glamour. I loved, seeing the supermodels, growing up on the covers. In a way, that dream for me became so real. It was vivid. I didn't know when I was that young that wasn't real. Do you know what I mean? That people behind the scenes were helping create that.
Right.
So it was all very dreamy and glamorous and beautiful and inspiring. My mother's father was a pretty famous artist, and I grew up doing a lot of oil painting and a lot of creative stuff.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was super interesting. He used to repair famous artworks from like the Louvre, like Rembrandt. So we would have crazy paintings, literally Rembrandts in our house, in the studio.
Wow.
Repairing these like masterpieces. And, he taught me how to paint. And at a very young age, I was exposed to a lot of art and film and fashion. And I loved it. I was always creative, and I'm very visual. So for me, it was natural.
Yeah. Were you the most gorgeous girl in your school, like fully suited up?
God.
Or?
I don't know, guys. I mean, beauty is relative. I was confident, I think, from a very young age. To be honest, I had my own journey, and nothing is perfect in life. And I think sometimes beauty can work against you. You have to prove yourself that you're intelligent, and you have to hone other skills. And I work very hard. And I always worked hard. You know, my father was he's an incredible man and very, very, very smart, very elegant. And, worked at CBS. He did tons of sports marketing, and just the way he lit up a room and that energy, I think he gave me that. I feel so blessed, to have that. So I think all of those things kind of made me who I am, and I had to build the confidence. I didn't innately get that as a child from my mother or father. It was like they pushed me and they showed me what they expected. They were very strict, they had hard standards, and I had to gain that confidence and in myself, and it had to be real.
Yeah.
And, confidence can only be real if it's backed by certain things, and that really stems to learning, knowledge, hard work, experience, all the things, the building blocks of success.
Yeah. So it's almost as you moved through life and received certain accolades and did certain things, that's where the confidence really built within you to be able to feel that you could stand behind your work, stand behind, all the things that you were doing.
And then it was like you earned it, you know? But I think I did have a confidence at a young age where I believed in myself for real. And I was not insecure. I've never been insecure. I never cared what other people thought. I'm respectful and I acknowledge what they want, but I don't let that affect my self-worth.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think that is one of the biggest blessings in life is to be able to have confidence. It's one of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time too from people. It's like, how are you so confident? And I never had any other way. And I think it's because, similar to you, is that I had tough parents as well, very successful, but they were really tough on me. And
they expected the best.
They expected the best. And those days were hard. I always found that, being an adult has honestly been easy because I know who I am. I feel really confident and secure in who I am. But it was kind of those years, my formative years, that were a bit more challenging because I didn't have the confidence just yet. But I was boisterous and I had no problem speaking my mind and I knew what I wanted. But
amazing.
Yeah. But I feel very similar to you.
Did you feel like you had the support? I think that is a very complicated yet interesting question.
Yeah. Support always. Yeah. I mean, I think that I was able to be risky in my life and make certain decisions because I always knew that ultimately at the end of the day, if I was to ever fall flat on my face, I had
your mom would be there.
My mom would be there.
She has an amazing mother.
My mom would be there. There would be a home for me to go back to. There would be dance studios for me to run if I couldn't figure out my life.
And an amazing dancer, guys.
If I couldn't figure out my life here in New York City, I always knew that I could run those businesses at home, even if I didn't want to. So I guess, there is some confidence in that as well. But you go to the Rhode Island School of Design, correct? Right after high school?
So, it was interesting. I was actually going to a different Ivy League school, and I kind of had a moment where I went downstairs and I told my mom, I am making a huge mistake. I'm an artist, I'm creative, and I know I want to do something in the arts. And she was like, you need to go to RISD. She got in the car. It was unbelievable. RISD and Brown. We got in the car. We drove to one of her friends' houses quite far away, like an hour, just went. And they had gone to RISD and we talked for a long time. And I left being like, I need to go to RISD. Now, I don't know how much you know about RISD, but RISD is one of the best art schools in the whole world. Yes. And all of the kids are extremely smart, very talented, like Juilliard levels. And, I had no portfolio. I was creative and I was talented and I had a lot of art training, but I had no book. So that's a problem. I had perfect boards. The grades would transfer. That wasn't an issue. So we ended up going up to RISD and we met with the president and he gave me very incredible advice. And he told me, this is exactly what we will be looking for in your portfolio. So I deferred my admission and I took a year off. I moved to the city. I went to the Art Students League. I built up my whole portfolio and I ended up, luckily, getting in early to RISD and Brown.
So fine arts is what you majored in.
I majored in fashion design. So the first year of RISD, I went to both RISD and Brown. So you can do like a double major. You can go, if you're a RISD, you're allowed to take classes at Brown, but not vice versa. The first year's foundation, and that's a really tough year. It kind of weeds out people who are not really cut from that.
Business.
Yeah. And it's good. It's good to know what you want in life, and they really make you decide. And then you choose your major in your sophomore year. So I actually studied fashion design, and that's how my whole career started, as being a designer and pattern cutting and draping and making all the clothes, which now, as a stylist, is one of the most important fundamental skills I could have ever had.
I can only imagine.
Because you have to know how the clothes are made, the fabrics. You need to know how they're supposed to fit. I think it's really, really important. And it really helped me.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's one of the things that has kind of set you apart from some of the others, because you really know not just how to construct a garment, but you know how to fix a garment. So
I also know how to create custom looks. And I think that creativity is something I love. I love to express myself, and I love to create. So I think that's been like a fun moment for me.
Yeah. And then after you get through your time at RISD, you end up in London, right? With Alexander McQueen?
I actually hadn't graduated. RISD is really good about
internship program.
Exactly. They encourage everyone. It's like mandatory that you do an internship. So, I knew that I wanted to work in Europe, and I knew I wanted to I had to work with the best. I needed to be somewhere really inspiring and creative. And it was like Dior and McQueen, and the stars aligned, and I ended up getting a job at Alexander McQueen. And it was funny, because I remember like speaking on the phone to my then boss, and then they were passing the phone around to the Lee and all the top people. And he basically said, "Elizabeth, if you're not good, we'll fire you." And I was like,
and you're in London, right? And
I wasn't even in London yet. This was before I packed. And
we'll fire you.
My boyfriend at the time, I knew it was going to be hardcore, and they really wanted to know my skills. And I was very good at drawing, so I could draw a lot of the looks, and that was very important. And also to be organized. I'm extremely organized, very visual. So, there's a lot of creativity over at McQueen. Anyway, so we kind of packed it up and moved to London. And a summer kind of turned into the whole rest of my senior year. And I was going back and forth. And it was fundamentally one of the most incredible, inspiring, intense experiences of my entire life. And I was super, super young. Yeah. So just being thrown into that kind of environment, one could never prepare for that.
Yeah.
But I was ready.
Yeah, of course you were. You're always ready.
I was ready. I was up for the challenge. I love a challenge. I'm not afraid of hard work. I love people. I'm a great communicator and a natural leader. So for me, I'm okay to be just like out of my comfort zone. I'm not afraid of change. I kind of love it. You know, I embrace that.
Do you have like
biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway or most memorable moment? Or is there something that you learned
I can tell you a couple of funny things. It was incredible. I mean, listen, working there was like McQueen Island. It was glamorous and it was inspiring, but it was also hard work. I mean, everyone in the studio was so talented and so hardworking. I mean, we would work till 1, 2 in the morning. And I could tell you a couple crazy anecdotes that were pretty wild. But biggest takeaway, and what I learned from Lee, was that he kind of gave me that creative fearlessness. And I took that energy, and it's a being now, where you had to do it. There was no. And if you didn't know, you had to learn quickly within 10 minutes how to do it. So you had to be resourceful. You had to be talented. You had to, and not ask a lot of questions. It was very fast moving.
I get that.
So you really had to be on your toes and produce. I mean, it was wild.
Boot camp.
It was more than boot camp. I mean, you would have Italians calling you up and they didn't speak any English, trying to find the missing fabric. Mick Jagger was calling and, a thick accent and trying to talk about his, cape that was double seamed, French seamed, and I could barely understand one word. And just the unexpected happened every day.
Yeah.
And it was fabulous. You know, you had Isabella Blow and Kate Moss and all these gorgeous, incredible, inspiring fashion icons coming into the office, like casually.
Yeah. And it becomes like run of the mill. After a few weeks there, you're just kind of like, oh, Naomi, whatever. Oh, you know,
listen, I was never impressed by fame. I always felt on the level, and I always felt like just happy and calm and excited to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is great for, you know, obviously you end up going into styling, right? And you work for some of the
there's a reason why I went into
styling.
I
want to go into that. But I think that because you're able to operate at such a level where you're just, and it's not that you're not impressed, it's just that you're not
respect it. I respect the hard work.
Right.
And I always treat people with respect. I never was intimidated. And I think that is very rare at 20, 21 years old.
And you could move through a room in a much different and more elegant way, to be honest with you, when you're not caught up in all of that, the celebrity BS.
There was no time for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, the most important thing to Lee was the work, was the creativity. He was constantly pushing the boundaries. He didn't care how things were supposed to be. He was an innovator. He was probably one of the most talented designers of all time.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Being around someone that talented was inspiring because he took risks. He had a brain. He thought out of the box, like in ways that like you were not expecting. I mean, and it was unbelievable. I mean, he would come up stairs and holding 5 giant books and be like, Elizabeth and the whole team, like, I want to design these pirate coats and embroideries, and I need this done in 24 hours and needs to go to India for the show. I mean, the tasks he would ask you to complete were impossible, but it didn't matter. We did them.
Yeah.
And we did them well.
Yeah. And now you thought you were going to be a designer when you were working for him.
You know, I hate math. Like,
same girl.
I love numbers. I love money. I love the idea of that kind of stuff, but I don't. It's so weird because I'm so precise, but I'm not technical. And I'm so creative. I'm much more like rather be doing like Cy Twombly-esque paintings. And
right.
Like abstract art for me is like my other secret passion, like later after styling, what I would love to be doing, among other things. But
you're not wanting to like sit there and figure out how are we putting the
It was so technical. Like let's cut the 14-piece boned corset, and then when you realize you were like 1/8 of an inch off and the 24th notch doesn't match up.
Yeah.
It's really not good.
Yeah.
And it was what I realized about fashion design was that I loved the process of the clothes, but actually being there and putting together the looks and creating these characters and styling with the pieces, taking the jewelry and, you know, the shoes and creating this whole look. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create this kind of dream world and the characters and do the shoots and the shows. And I started to realize that working on the shows, but more so after, you know, I got an opportunity to assist a great stylist, Beat Bolliger, when I was super young. He was working at Art Partner and we were doing the first issue of The Great Performers. Inez Minoud was shooting and I had never really styled, but I knew style. I knew vintage stores and I knew New York. So I knew I could help just bring something. And we shot everyone, Johnny Depp, Charlize Theron, Scarlett Johansson, like, you know, before she was barely famous. I mean, it was unbelievable, the portfolio of artists. And, you know, Inez Minoud, some of their pictures are literally touched by God. They're so talented. So to be able to even assist on that was incredible. And Beat, you know, was doing all these jobs. We did Japanese Vogue. We did Victor and Rolf very quickly. And I just knew, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And it's, you know, styling, if you know about styling, it is super hard work.
Yeah. Explain that a little bit. If you can actually just break down exactly what somebody like you who is a celebrity stylist, what is...
Well, I'm not even just a celebrity stylist. Right now, my career has really evolved. So I would say styling, first and foremost, is extremely hard work. You know, you are getting the looks from all these different designers. You're creating a look. Maybe you're working on a big editorial and you're coming up with the concepts with the photographer, and you're helping create, for me at least, like, I'm not a stylist who just takes looks from the runway. I create a character, and when I worked with my celebrity clients or models, I really work with them on what do we want to say with this, and how do you want to look? And, I'm really a team player, and, I see beauty in everything, and I love all my clients, and I want them to be the best. I want them to feel the most beautiful and confident, and I want to help them achieve their goals and dreams, just like I want to achieve my goals and dreams. And, the industry is incredible. I've worked on so many different things from, Italian Vogue, Bazaar, Vanity Fair to, big beauty campaigns, Armani, L'Oreal, Maybelline, to, big stars like Gigi Hadid and Bella and all, incredible models, Adriana Lima and Elsa Hosk. All the girls were friends. We kind of really trusted each other, and we have that real strong trust, bond, loyalty, and I think all that when you're working with people is so important.
We've had an evolution with a lot of them. I think that you've kind of grown up with all of them.
Yeah,
and they
of course.
Really trust you. And I think that you've developed their character in a way through the fashion, through the clothes, and helped them really define what their personal brand is in a way.
It's been a beautiful journey, and it's still evolving. I think the industry is really changing a lot too.
In what ways do you feel?
Ever since social media really became front and center, I think that the way that brands are working with people has completely changed. And, advertising, there's lots more, working with people who are powerful and have influence, and it's not just influencers anymore or fashion correspondent. You can call it whatever you want, but it's about having a real community and connecting with them and inspiring them.
Do you find that it moves a lot faster? Like there's so many, I think there's so many people that need stylists now that never would have needed them before.
Well, I don't know if they need stylists. Listen, we don't need anything. I think people define what they need and what they think is important based on certain criteria. So yes, there is the element, everything is much more curated and documented. I remember going to shows and it was like, you were in like a cool black suit or no makeup, and we had white t-shirts on and jeans, and you were like sneaking into shows and it was like we were 20. And
that was when I moved here.
Right?
Yeah,
and
you didn't wear a look. It wasn't about the people in the audience.
The looks came, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
I was going to say 10 years ago.
And to be honest, like Anna De La Russo really pioneered that. She was, Paris Hilton too. Like they were on the forefront of that before social media, doing the looks and then the street style. And, now that's such an integral part of what we do. You can't escape it. It's like, it's really part of it. And so that is way more time consuming because there's paparazzi, there's the street style photographers. You've got to post now. And just, I actually run my own Instagram and it is so much work. But I love it. It's a different way to express yourself and be creative and have fun.
Yeah.
But it's real work.
Well, and what I think my biggest takeaway from just listening to you and now and knowing where your career has gone and went is that it seems that you never forgot about yourself in all of this, but I mean that in the best way possible, is that you have built an incredible career. You've built incredible careers for others, but you also always remembered that you are somebody as well, and you built this incredible personality online as well, a huge following, and now you're stepping behind the camera as well.
That was a really kind of natural progression for me, and it was never like I woke up one day and was like, I want to be a model. That was never the case. I always had a inner beauty that radiated, and like I said, as a stylist, I work more like a method actor. So I'm more like an actor or like a director on a film. Like I create these characters and the narrative, and then you get to kind of play those characters. And so it's been really natural and easy for me because a lot of the time, the characters that I showcase in my work, part of it is me. So it's very natural. modeling, people think it's so easy, but it's really hard. And modeling isn't about, being a great model is not about being beautiful. Mm-hmm. It is about being interesting and kind of taking on this energy where you're in the space and you kind of are a character. So I've had a lot of fun doing that. It was just another way for me to be able to showcase my style and my looks and something that was more innately me instead of someone else. And it kind of evolved. I started doing, beauty ambassadorships. I'm working with Clé de Peau now and working with Aloe and lots of incredible collaborations with big brands and doing amazing design collabs. I mean, it's been incredible. Jewelry collabs and campaigns. And it's just been fun to be creative and create that world and that character and the concept. I mean, I did it for so many years for all the magazines and campaigns. So, I love a brief. I love to create something and have fun. And I think at the core of it, I'm an artist. So when you're creative, I can't stop working. Like, I love to work. I'm addicted. It doesn't feel like work when you're having fun. And I think, like I said earlier, I'm not afraid of change. And so when you embrace that, and the industry will always change. And sometimes it's not easy. There are always ups and downs, but you've got to be like kind of aware and watching like where the wind is blowing.
How do you move through the ups and downs? Challenging days, challenging times, challenging years.
Nobody's life is perfect, even if it seems that way. I am very positive. I'm a very positive person, and I have a very strong sense of who I am and my self-worth. I have an incredible husband and partner who is my rock. He's so loyal and beautiful and kind. I have a beautiful son who is the greatest gift I've ever received in my entire life. So I have these two best friends, plus all these other incredible friends in the industry, and I think we help each other, like how I saw something in you and confronted you and just brought out something that was already there, but just needed to be focused on, a little push. And, I'm so grateful for all my incredible, hardworking girlfriends. I have amazing girlfriends, guy friends, people in all walks of life, and I think we all accept each other and we respect each other and we inspire each other. So that for me keeps me going.
Yeah.
I think like that support system and that love and that, rooting for each other. Like, we're not competitive. We want each other to win. And that's really important. You don't want to ever be jealous or compete with your friends. You want to celebrate them and they will celebrate you.
100%.
You get what you give in life. So for me, I'm all about like, we're all winning. There's enough for everyone. And, if one door closes, another will open. But, things are not just going to always arrive on your doorstep. Hard work.
Okay. Real talk, ladies. And this might be a little TMI, but who are we without our scars? I have had stretch marks and cellulite for as long as I can remember. And I obsessed over these things throughout my 20s, but I started to accept them as part of my life in my 30s. But then I was introduced to Tani and her incredible brand Tronk, which has completely transformed the way that I think about caring for my body's skin. Tronk was born from Tani's own journey with reproductive health. After her second endometriosis surgery, she discovered the harmful effects of endocrine disruptors in skincare products. Tani then created Tronk, which is an award-winning, science-backed body care line that prioritizes safety and effectiveness. So, if your story sounds a little bit like mine, here is my daily Tronk process. I start with 2 minutes of dry brushing using their Ionic Dry Body Brush. Dry brushing is fantastic for stimulating circulation, exfoliating dead skin cells, and promoting lymphatic drainage. And after that, I spend another 2 minutes using their Body Contour Massager, which enhances the lymphatic drainage even further. Then I jump in the shower, I do my thing, and when I get out, I lather their vitamin C body oil all over my stretch marks before finishing everything off with their firming body butter. If you remain consistent with this program, I promise that you will have your version of Heidi Klum's legs in the 90s in no time. Tronc has been so generous to support our show and offer 20% off your first order with the code OYSTA20 at checkout. Visit www.tronc.com, that's TRONQUE.com, and use the code OYSTA20 at checkout. Again, visit www.tronc.com and use the code OYSTA20 at checkout. It is time to give your body the care and attention it truly deserves, from the face down. This product is 100% Hot Rich Auntie approved. Hey, my pearls, did you know that electrolytes, creatine, and collagen are the ultimate hack for looking and feeling amazing? That's why I am so excited that we have partnered up with Harlow. Harlow is a fab 3-in-1 performance-enhancing drink that is packed with natural electrolytes for hydration, collagen for radiant skin and joint support, and creatine to fuel your muscles and boost your cognitive function. Plus, it's sugar-free, gluten-free, and it tastes amazing. So I know what you're thinking. Creatine? Really? Yes, really. As women, we often overlook or are scared of creatine, but it's crucial for boosting our energy and endurance. It also plays a vital role in muscle recovery and helps maintain our overall strength as we age. As a woman juggling a full-time job, a podcast, and a million things in between, I do not have time to waste feeling tired, sore, or not at 100%. And that's why I never miss a day. And I can genuinely say that Harlow makes a difference. Whether I'm sipping it after solid core or enjoying it as a pick-me-up during a busy afternoon, Harlow keeps me hydrated, glowing, and ready to tackle whatever the day brings my way. To hydrate and elevate your wellness with me, visit www.drinkharlow.com and use the code OYSTA20 for 20% off of your first order. That's www.drinkharlow.com and use the code OYSTA20 at checkout for 20% off.
I know that you and I have talked a lot too about manifestation, and you've kind of been like a master manifester for your whole life. Like, you've manifested a lot of things in your career, your son. So is there any practices that you do on a regular basis in terms of manifestation, or is it just this like real strong-willed, like willing things into the universe in a way?
I've thought about this a lot recently because, you know, there was like the Lionsgate portal and all of these kind of crazy moments that everyone's talking about on social media. And you can take it with a grain of salt. I definitely take time throughout the year, maybe not on a daily basis, but for sure on a weekly basis, to check in with myself and to just think about, what am I doing? What do I want to be doing?
Right.
Am I doing what I want? Do I love this? And what big goals do I have? I think if you don't know what you want in life, you're never going to get it. And that's one of the best advice that I was given. You know, even Madonna said that if you don't ask, you'll never get it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one thing to ask for something, but when you really want something, you're not afraid to put in the work. You're not afraid to take the steps towards that thing. And I think one of the hardest things in life is actually truly like looking yourself in the mirror and being like, this is who I am. This is what I want. So yeah, knowing what you want is crucial. And then you have to kind of think about, well, how do I get that? You know? And listen, sometimes there are things in your life you want and you don't get them. And that's okay, because you might get something else that's better, you know?
What is for you will not pass you.
Yeah, positive vibes. Yeah. And, you know, I always believed in that. And I think, like I said, you get what you give in life, good vibes, you'll radiate that energy and you'll attract the things that are also meant for you. Mm. You know, a lot of the greatest things in my life and opportunities were never things I pursued. Or some of them were, but I didn't pursue them to a point where I repelled them, if that makes sense. Like, I was open to it and I accepted the opportunity. Now, I think in life, you can get a lot of opportunities, but sometimes people, they're not ready for them. Mm. And especially in fashion, things move quick. So it can come and go, you know? And there it is, poof, your dream, you know? So Amen. You got to seize the day.
You must seize the day. No, that is actually incredible advice. And I Yeah, you opened up my eyes to that so much, and asking yourself, like, what do you want? What do you want? If you don't ask yourself what you want, you're never going to get it. And if you don't know what you want,
do some soul searching. Take a little time out. Like, there's so much noise in the city, and I'm actually super sensitive to noise. Like, I'll listen to like Max Richter and incredible,
it's Max Richter. Is this meditation? What is this?
No, it's just beautiful music. I'm very visual, but I'm also very sensitive to sound. And I love like gorgeous, like Jan Tiersen, Philip Glass, Max Richter. These are incredible composers. And I think classical music for me not only calms me, but it puts me in a meditative state.
Yeah. Same.
And I love to be in like a trance almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like very much so about the mood.
The
like
Zen
even this
vibes.
morning,
Yeah.
even this morning at 7 a.m. when we woke up for glam, the candles were lit. I had light jazz playing in the background. Like I have to get myself into like this Zen. Like even my makeup artist knows like
the Zen
talking
vibes.
Really,
yes.
yeah. Like sometimes when we have fun glam, we talk. But like when it's like podcast glam or like something for my career, it's always like, okay, we need to just like
you got to think. You want to speculate. You want to start the day off without too much extra energy. So, I am very protective of my energy. I think I do have boundaries, and some people, might not understand that or could be frustrated by that. But really important if you want to be successful is to not get too caught up in other people's drama and emotion. Just focus on yourself and your family and your close friends, and focus on your work and connecting with people and helping others, and just focus on what you're doing and what you want to say.
I think having boundaries is one of the sexiest things, but I also think that it's one of the smartest things that somebody can have. I think that also being too available all the time can actually hurt you instead of help you.
Yeah.
Because you're eventually just going to burn out. And I love boundaries. I didn't know that you had such strong boundaries.
Oh yeah,
but you do. You turn off. You are like, when she's in, she is in. But when you're gone, you're gone.
You have to. And I love health. I love wellness. It's so important to me. I love to go out to like We Care and do a spa and a cleanse. And, I think taking care of yourself inside, mentally, physically, that's really important. Because how can you show up for others if you can't show up for yourself?
It's how I live my whole life.
Yeah. And burnout in our industry is a real thing. I've seen a lot of people come and go, and it's sad, because they're so talented or, had amazing careers. But I think taking care of yourself is really important and constantly evolving, because that is really what the industry looks for.
Yeah. How do you constantly evolve your own personal style?
That is a very good question. My style is very well defined. And I know the designers I want to wear. I know exactly how I want to look.
How would you describe it in 3 words, your personal style?
Powerful, elegant, and a little bit dangerous.
I agree.
So
a vibe.
I like a little danger. That was actually the first word that I had to spell in a spelling bee. So dangerous liaisons. Like I like it.
What an interesting memory that you have.
Isn't that weird?
Danger.
I have an incredible memory that also has helped me a lot, because as a stylist, if you cannot remember things, you are going to lose a lot of things. So you've got to be super organized. And memory, I left it there. I know exactly what that piece was from the show. So all of those things. But so back to the style, not to digress. I love, like I said, I love beauty. I love looks that make me feel powerful and elegant, iconic. I've always tried with my clients to create iconic moments for them, or for the ad campaigns, or, the editorials. And that's easier said than done. But just trying to, if you think about icons of, the time and the day, they all throughout history, they always did something a little bit out of the box, but they stuck to their vision, and my style is, it when you see it, it's strong, it's glamorous, it's sexy, it's powerful. it's a little androgynous. I love to play with a little bit of menswear, obsessed. I think, we can all wear everything and have fun. So knowing that, how have I allowed for change? Different people push you to do different things. Different clients will ask for different briefs. Different photographers will capture your work or push you in a way that you maybe weren't ready for or that weren't exactly how you thought you were going to portray the look. So that's been, years of that. And then fashion is always changing. There's new young talent, incredible young designers. And, I try to experiment and embrace and even have fun with myself a little bit and maybe do something that I wouldn't necessarily, a designer that does that really well is like Margiela. But I've always loved the unexpected, and do an incredible show and you're just blown away because Galliano was and has always been an incredible talent.
Yeah.
So you got to embrace that and have a little fun. I just did a Clé de Peau shoot and I just did a little bit more of like a feminine, almost girly look. And
I never saw you with your hair like that.
I did my own hair.
I never saw you with that.
Apparently, I'm like a
pony.
hairstylist.
I do it all.
I've been, yeah. Well, you know what? To be successful today, as many skills that you can get good at and have in your back pocket is only going to help you.
Couldn't agree more. And save you sometimes.
And sometimes you can't get the glam that you want or you don't have enough time. If you can do your own hair and makeup, that is really important. And it's super helpful. And also pick out some amazing looks yourself. Not everyone can afford a stylist. So there are a lot, and in the world today, there is so many options. And I think we all need a little bit of curation. We need to focus.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. What was your first I've really made it moment?
Oh my goodness. I've got to be honest. I never, ever think like I made it. Now, realistically, after a 20-year career, there are pivotal moments where you're like, wow, that was great. But I always felt like I was only as good as my next shoot. So I was constantly pushing for greatness. Always. And I think that had to do with the way I grew up. My mom was kind of a perfectionist and nothing was ever good enough. So I was trained so young to exceed and excel and not be like so happy with my success. It was like, of course I'm thrilled.
Right. Don't get drunk on your own sauce, basically.
Yeah, but I was always pushing for more. Like, what are we doing next? And I'm still doing that. I've got a lot of like really exciting projects right now. That is probably one of the cornerstones of my success is that I've never been like, yes, like I'm a star. I made it. Like, that's just ridiculous. There are ridiculous. Some iconic moments, many, it's kind of like,
what's one of your favorites? What's your most iconic?
How do you choose your most iconic one? I can't. I have to be honest. I could rattle off like 10.
Let's do 3.
Okay, we'll do 3. Because it's like choosing your favorite child. Like we like them all for different reasons,
True.
Okay. First
she's
iconic,
not playing favorites, clients, just so you know. She's not playing favorites.
First iconic moment, like literally that kind of propelled me into really the styling world was very early on in the beginning of my career. I did a 90-page story for Self-Service with Ezra Petronia with tons of models, celebrities, people I really wanted to work with and admire. And to do a story of that caliber and that long was a really big deal in the industry. And, shortly thereafter, I did a 20-page story for Italian Vogue. And after that, the stars kind of aligned. So that was sort of a pivotal, huge moment in the beginning of my career. Another really incredible moment, which was super insane, was working with Madame Marcus on a Brian Atwood shoot. And, Brian Atwood and I had never met. And now he is like one of my best friends for years.
I just saw him on the street yesterday.
He's incredible.
I was like, Elizabeth's coming on tomorrow. He's like, okay, well, girl, now I have to come. I'm like,
okay. Like Brian is
the best.
He's a bright light. You know, I love bright lights. I'm attracted to bright lights. I love people who radiate, and they share and they have fun and they live their best life. Like Paula and I are living our best life. We are having fun. So we did his campaign in London. it was insane. I mean, there were, Candace Swanepoel was one of the models who, is a great friend now and an inspiration. And there were like 10 models. I mean, it was just madness. But it was so me. It was so Helmut Newton, and Giovanni Bianco was art directing, who was super talented, and all the TVs. And still to this day, it's like, it was really a strong concept and inspiration. It had a little bit of that David Bowie Men Who Fell to Earth vibe, and meets like Helmut Newton, and it was incredible and still holds up, still kind of holds the test of time. Another really amazing shoot that I did, I used to do all the Victoria's Secret campaigns, and we would travel all over. We would go to Rome and Paris, and, the girls were not only so beautiful and so inspiring, but, we worked together, we traveled together. We were friends, we supported each other, and we really helped each other. And, we were in St. Bart's doing this incredible job. It was like 3 weeks. So we basically like moved to St. Bart's, and we did this Vogue cover with all the girls, or many of the angels, together. And it was the first time that those girls had ever been really on Vogue and on Vogue together. So that was really pivotal and really fun and kind of iconic for everyone, for all of us. We were excited, and it was insane after these crazy shoots, and it was hot, and Shell Beach, sand everywhere, and the clothes. And it was just, these girls were sirens. It was so beautiful and magical. It was a wow.
Yeah.
So there are more moments.
There's
obviously,
many more.
But like I'll be talking
Even your
all day.
Own, yeah. I mean, like you've had some incredible, iconic moments as well. Red carpet moments. I mean, there's just been
oh my gosh,
so many beautiful.
We had a real moment in Cannes this year.
Yes.
Diane Kruger, a good friend of mine who is such an incredible actress and just so talented. She was in the Cronenberg film produced by Saint Laurent. So we went, we did the carpet, we supported her in this incredible role. And a lot of people go to Cannes, and a lot of people don't stay and see the film. And to go and do the carpet and be there, and I was sitting in a crazy couture Alexandre Vauthier crystal 25-pound gown. But, when she walked into the theater and waved and came and hugged me and was thanking us for supporting her, I mean, it really meant a lot. And it was so powerful to be able to support a friend. I was her date to Amphar, and we had the most incredible time. She was so elegant and beautiful. Like, what a star, And there are other stars like that I've worked with. Another one like Gigi Hadid, who is so unbelievably kind and loyal and beautiful inside and out. And those are the kind of people that you just want to do everything for them.
Yeah.
And they respect you and let you have your moments too. It's like when it's their moment, it's their moment. But when it's my moment, it's my moment.
Right.
And that's really rare and really fun,
Yeah.
So.
And you're so lucky to have been able, like.
I feel blessed, honestly. Like, not
every stylist gets to go out on the forefront sometimes. They really don't.
It's a dance, for sure. But it's also like, it's part of my destiny, baby.
I'm like, you've been doing it. You're doing it.
Push me out to the carpet,
Yeah. If you ever want like a crash course, like just go to an event with Elizabeth. You will be like, you will know how to pose for the gods in just a few moments.
I have a lot of little moments like that where girls supported me. Candace really supported me. And, she's so beautiful and confident and completely the least competitive person. It's beautiful to like know these people who are so incredibly famous, but yet they care about others,
We're all just humans.
I know.
Of the day,
So yeah, carpets. I mean, listen, they are
scary.
They're not scary. I live for a carpet moment. I think it's really fun to be able to create these looks. And, it is a certain type of person who is okay to put themselves out there and not afraid, and it's not easy for some people. For me, it's just like another day. Like, I'm ready. But, there is real prep that goes into that. And luckily, I've kind of learned how to get myself to look good enough to do it. You know?
Red carpet prep. Do you have
red carpet prep?
What are your three must-dos for red carpet prep?
Okay, how big is the carpet? Are we talking can?
Okay,
there's different levels of prep.
Step down. Let's go the big gala of whatever city you live in, right? Let's call it the King's Trust.
Okay.
New York City King's Trust, right?
If it's my biggest carpet, I am absolutely trying to either see, Cynthia Rivas, my facialist, or Fabrizio Armand to give me a little radio frequency tightening. I don't like retouching. I'm too busy. I'm lazy, a little here and there, fine. But the better you can look, the more prepared you are. Those photos are, on Getty everywhere. They're going out.
Yeah, they're going out regardless of whether you're retouching them or not.
So we got to do a little prep. I love, love, love taking care of my skin. I don't actually wear makeup normally in the day. And that has helped a lot. I love the Zip. I love the NuFace. I'm obsessed with at-home microcurrent. I love the Lima laser. I'm into the devices. I'm not afraid of it. And, good skincare I think is really important. I love 111 Skin Masks. I'm using them all the time.
Eye masks are amazing. The
face mask, Black Diamond. I need the works here. Yeah. So we do that. And then, I think also besides having your pre kind of glam prep, I think it's really, and that all happens before your makeup artist arrives.
Like a week to 2 weeks, you're prepping the skin.
Like a week. I'm sometimes too busy, so 2 days. But I think it is really important that, you have your look ready and you kind of aren't messing around, what bag, what jewelry, all of that just adds to the stress. So the more organized you can be, I think that helps. Being realistic about the glam look that you want to achieve for whether it's yourself or your client. But I personally like to keep it simple unless we're really serving a look. Yeah. Less is more, especially with hair. I like my hair just normal, kind of natural. This is my hair out of the shower. I don't like to primp a lot. I don't like to change who I am too much.
Right. You don't want to create this character for yourself. You want to come up with something
when we're doing a
you.
shoot, I'm okay to be the character. But when you're doing a carpet, you're yourself.
Yeah.
At least I am.
Yeah. You should be.
Right.
And I know that you also swear by lymphatic drainage massage.
I love lymphatic drainage, especially when you travel. I feel like I retain water. So for me, it helps so much. I love a gua sha.
Yeah. Do you do body gua sha?
I have the big body gua sha. It actually really helps. I believe in all of that. I don't do lymphatic all the time, but before a very big carpet, I will. Even a regular massage is going to help more than nothing.
Right. Right.
But all of those little tips and tricks, and happy to share all of them, are, amazing, and they help.
They certainly do. I swear by most of those as well.
But it's all about, it's not just the outward look, it's the confidence inward. And if those things help you achieve it, then that's half the battle.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah.
When I go to these carpets, I'm living my best life. You get to learn, you meet the photographers, your friends are there, everyone else is kind of working it. It's a moment, you got to get into it.
It's much easier once you have more friends in the industry and you know the photographers and your girlfriend is on the other side. It's gotten easier, I will say, even for me. I mean, I'm walking maybe 2 or 3 carpets a year and nobody really cares that I'm, walking it. But
that is not true. Come on.
But the first 2 or 3 years, I remember I would just I was trembling, looking down. And now that I have all of you girls and when we get to do it together, it's so just great. So much more fun. And if you could go next to Elizabeth, you will have the most confidence in the world. That's why I'm I'll walk after her because it's just what it is. It's how could you not be confident when your friend is right there next to you, striking every pose, hitting every, and not caring if she's literally next to Emrata.
I do remember, I went to the big Vanity Fair red carpet with Elsa, who is, one of my greatest friends. Yeah. And, Elsa Hosk is obviously an icon, style, model, entrepreneur, all of the above. And we did the carpet together and it was so much fun because, she kind of pushed me out first, was you have to go first. And then I was okay, we're there for each other. Everyone's supporting each other and we're there to crush, you know?
We are here to crush. If you
Totally.
learn one thing from this episode today, just know that you are here to crush as well. You can crush with us too.
Yeah, we're just living life, living the dream, and happy to help you live the dream too.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, and community, and you know, we're all really blessed and
we're grateful.
Incredibly, like beyond measure. If you could choose one word that you would want your character to be remembered as, what would it be?
Wow. That's really tough. Inspiring.
And you're doing it, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
To so many people, not even just people in the fashion industry. There's so many people that know you, respect you, look up to you. And, you know, I think one of the biggest words when your name comes around, aside from gorgeous, is hardworking.
Thank you. So we have the yin and yang.
Yeah. Right? No pretty privilege here. She works her ass off.
Guys, that doesn't exist. I swear. It never did for me.
No,
I wish it did. I would love to like cash a card, but it just, that wasn't part of my journey, you know, in this life. And hard work, like getting in there. And, you know, you can't make it to the top without climbing the steps that led you there. And even if you're going to fly up in the sky, it's important to come down and see what's going on, you know?
I love that. What a beautiful message to end on. And before I let you go, a little quick fire for the girls.
Oh my gosh. Okay, whoa.
These ones are quick. What is worth splurging on, and what would you save on in your wardrobe?
Okay. Couple splurges. Definitely jewelry. I think jewelry is something that I've always invested in. It is timeless, iconic, never normally goes out of style. It holds its value, which is good. And it just stands the test of time. And I think it really completes an outfit. For me, jewelry is number one. Now, I think also, and like building your collection, whether it's costume pieces, real pieces, like all of it. I think that's, for me, has always been kind of a cornerstone. A really beautiful coat. I think coats can make a whole outfit. You could have jeans and a t-shirt, you throw on a fab coat, and you're ready to roll. A great bag. Bags are important, especially day bags. And they last a really long time. You know, you could get an expensive bag, and that could last 10 years. I think I have never been impressed by trends. You know, obviously I work in fashion, so trends do push and drive inventory. But I think what's more interesting is seeing how these new styles can fit into the wardrobe you already have and help you kind of complement and create those looks. So as a stylist, you know, and when I look at these pieces, I think, is that going to be worth it for me in 5 years? You know, a couple great shoes, like you need a great boot. It's important, especially black. Sometimes, you know, advice I could give with trendier pieces is, depending on your budget, maybe you try a version of that's a little cheaper and see if that's something you really need and like.
Right.
First.
Right. Schutt's amazing. If you want to try
so
a trendy
comfortable.
shoe.
Yeah.
Try a trendy shoe, go to Schutt's. No need to like go for the Saint Laurent the first time.
I mean, you can.
You can.
But I think it's just about
being realistic. With your
be
budget.
realistic and also understand what do you need and what do you want. The older I get, the more I have and the less I want, if that makes sense.
I want
like
less.
Rescue me with the closet, guys. Help.
Especially in New York City. Girl,
It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's a burden and a blessing. You know?
Correct.
Right?
What can we save on? Sunglasses? Like what's
I mean, that's a good one. I don't think you need to buy designer t-shirts, period. I don't think you need to buy designer jeans. Okay. I love my Celine jeans. They are sick. But like, you know, I have this thing where I kind of don't wear them all the time or I save them. You know, you could get like a sick pair of Frankie Shop and they're like $200 and they're the best jeans ever and you get a compliment every day.
Yeah.
So I think
vintage Levi's, like
totally. Exactly. And I love vintage. I'm obsessed. So that's also another good advice. You don't even have, when I said cheaper, I'm not saying like it has to be fast fashion, like vintage major. You could buy something on the real wheel for cheaper that's used, and that's actually better for the environment, you know?
100%. If you could wear only one outfit for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Sorry, but it's going to have to be two outfits because my going out persona is different than my daytime persona. And I would say my daytime persona is like baseball hat, t-shirt, jeans, Celine bag, my Celine belt, like very chill, comfy sneaker or like a cool loafer, little boyish, you know, vintage sweatshirts, YSL, like old school, little sporty and rich vibes. Nighttime, YSL, Alexander Vautier, structure, power, tailoring, corseting, the works. You know, I love McQueen too. Wow. So I would say probably a smoking suit.
Jacket.
Yeah. I love a great trouser.
Me too.
McQueen makes some of the best fitting trousers, especially for my petite frame. I mean, the suiting, you know, they know what they're doing. Their patterns are unbelievable.
I love that. Well, if anybody ever needs fashion inspiration, the first place that you ever need to go is to Elizabeth's Instagram, because she is out there doing the Lord's work when it comes to fashion inspo and all things. Like, she's posting not just her nighttime looks, but her daytime looks and everything in between, all of your campaigns. I mean, like, the social media is just, it's next level, and we need to do a whole other podcast about how you manage your time on that. But where can everybody find you on social media?
So my Instagram is at Elizabeth Sulzer, and I'm also starting a TikTok. It's Wild Wild West, but same name. So we're
trying.
We're like, you know, we're doing new things, which is fun.
We're going to get on TikTok too, I promise.
You know, so we'll see it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But Instagram's like robust and growing and fun, and you know,
Gorgeous.
all our friends are on
Aesthetic.
there. Yeah, we're just, like I said, I'm just living the dream. And come visit me. Come
visit her.
hang. Come ask questions. I'm happy to help. I do get a lot of DMs, so
Be patient.
yeah,
Patient is
and
a
I
virtue.
can't answer them all, and sometimes it's like stalkers, so I have to be a little careful, but I do my best.
Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I don't have to tell you this, but you know I love you so much, and you're the best. You saw something in me, and I can never like thank you enough for seeing that and for like thrusting that out of me. And not even, you know, it's like you said it to me the one time, you didn't check in after that. I was like, I'm doing this thing, and you were like, good, crush. Like, you know, it wasn't in this way of like, I'm going to like be persistent and be on you. It was more, you know, it was just like, basically just
the
threw me.
oracle has spoken.
Yeah. You just threw me out there in the water, and you know, I was really able to find who I was and who I want to be ultimately. So thank you for being such a great role model for me and for seeing something in me.
I adore you. Our next step is going to be a TED Talk.
World domination.
TED Talk.
TED Talk? Is that
Yeah.
is that your goal? Do you want to do a TED Talk?
To be honest, I kind of want to do a TED Talk, but I'm launching a brand, which I want to talk about just for 2 seconds
my gosh.
before we say goodbye.
Oh my gosh, I completely forgot.
It's called Surfskin, and it's taking the healing elements of the ocean and marine medicine, marine biotech. You know, we formulated an incredible, potent blend for anti-aging, and it will be in, you know, serums, gel creams, as well as, you know, sunscreens, and we're going to do cool merch. And so stay tuned.
When are we launching?
Well, I'm raising money right now.
Okay.
So,
Anyone?
yeah, little money. It's going well, and building my team and our community, and we'll have merch. We'll do some cool collabs, and you know, think like vintage, kind of old school, like YSL, like faded T-shirts and hoodies. Not even hoodies, sweatshirts. I don't really love a hoodie. The hats, the merch, you know, the stuff. So that's been in the works for 3 years, and
you're building that with Tom, is right? Your husband?
my husband and I are building it together. He's operations. He's a producer, so he's very good at like the nitty gritty, which let me tell you, in a business is the hardest part. And you know, the hardest part now is wearing so many hats,
Yeah.
doing a lot of different things. But you know, I'm excited and inspired, and I've worked in beauty for so long, so I kind of know what I love and what works. And you know, there's such a kind of movement for clean, and
Yeah.
I think there's so many like toxic giants out there right now. So it's a new frontier for sure. And you know,
We're excited.
The world is ready.
The world is your oyster.
The world is your oyster.
I'm, I'm in it. I am deeply in it and grateful and excited and inspired and full speed ahead.
I love that. Well, I'm so happy. And I know that this has been a labor of love for you. So we're all so ready for Surfskin. So also follow Surfskin because I know it's on Instagram now.
At Surfskin, please, guys.
Please follow.
Follow us. And we might follow you back.
We're
like following everyone back. It's like fun.
I like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's how you create community. 100%.
I agree. Well, and I think community is so important now to brands because that's how you kind of tap into the culture and into what people really think and need and want. And that is a mutual form of communication and respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
100%. Follow everybody. And thank you so much for being here with us today. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I love you so much. And we will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.